Hello, I'm Jonathan Groocock, Deputy Fund Manager of Utilico Emerging Markets Trust and Senior Analyst focusing on the utility sector. A key megatrend driving emerging markets is energy transition. Countries across the globe are looking to reduce their carbon footprints, and a key element of this is a shift away from dirty fossil fuels towards cleaner, renewable energy sources. Looking back at 2023, we can see that it was a record year for renewables, with global renewable energy capacity growing at its fastest rate in 2 decades. According to the International Energy Agency, total installed capacity increased by 50% last year to 510 gigawatts. And while many might focus on the US and the impact of the Inflation Reduction Act in helping to drive this growth, it is in fact the emerging markets which are surprisingly active here. Indeed, China has commissioned as much solar PV capacity as the rest of the world combined. Last year, we also saw spot prices of solar PV modules decline by almost 50%, a critical element for commercialization of this technology. And it's notable that many emerging markets no longer offer subsidies for new solar and wind farms. And this is because the levelized cost of energy from solar plants in countries like China and India has actually fallen below the marginal cost of generating electricity from coal and gas-fired plants. Simply put, renewables are the cheapest form of electricity in emerging markets. One issue which is still being resolved is the effect of intermittency of renewables and bottlenecks in the grid infrastructure. While it might be possible to build a solar farm in less than a year, planning and development of the transmission infrastructure to support it often takes several years and sometimes more than a decade. Now, this is a big problem, and in places like Chile, we saw the curtailment rate, which is effectively energy wasted due to a lack of connectivity. That curtailment rate tripled last year. So, looking ahead, what does the future have in store for us in energy transition? Firstly, growth in renewable capacity is going to continue at a phenomenal pace. The IEA estimates the world will add more renewables in the next 5 years than has been installed over the past 100 years. In 2024, wind and solar assets will generate more electricity than hydropower, and in 2025, renewables as a whole are expected to overtake coal to become the leading source of electricity generation globally. Emerging markets will continue to lead this charge. China is expected to account for 60% of all new renewable capacity that comes online through 2028. India is expected to add 205 gigawatts by 2028, doubling its 2022 capacity, and putting it well on track to meet its goal of 500 gigawatts by 2030. This would put both countries on track to be generating half of their electricity from renewables, a huge step forward. Secondly, solar will become increasingly competitive. Solar PV modules will continue to get cheaper, as it's estimated that the global manufacturing capacity of modules has tripled over the past 3 years. There's now an enormous oversupply of PV production, and more factories are still being built. This will mean that the cost of solar power, already the cheapest form of energy in many countries, will keep coming down. Thirdly, investment in grid infrastructure and energy storage solutions will continue to accelerate. Our portfolio companies will see more investment opportunities, not only in lithium battery storage, but also in long-duration storage, such as pumped hydro and vanadium flow batteries. While curtailment and grid bottlenecks will continue to be a challenge in 2024, in the medium term, this will be alleviated by this additional investment. For UEM, we are confident that our portfolio investments are well positioned to benefit from the energy transition megatrend. We see superb growth opportunities, driven by investment in energy infrastructure, offering predictable returns and long-duration cash flows. Ultimately, This should translate to improved financials and long-term share price performance. For more insights on UEM, please visit the website uemtrust.co.uk or follow Utilico Emerging Markets Trust on LinkedIn.